The secret to attracting wealth begins where most men never dare to look, inside the furnace of their own desire. Before riches ever clothe the body or dwell in the bank, they are first born in the unseen realm of the mind. Every fortune begins with a thought, yes, but not just any idle thought. It is a thought ignited by a white, hot desire, carried with such clarity that the universe itself must kneel before it. The definiteness of wealth desire is the spark that sets the law of attraction in motion. A man who wants money casually will attract poverty passionately. The law of attraction does not serve the lukewarm. It does not obey the whispering wish of a drifting soul. It responds only to definiteness, a demand from the mind that says, "This I shall have, this I will become, this I will hold, and I will not stop until my hand wraps around it." A vague desire is a lie you tell yourself to feel good. But a definite desire is a truth forged from purpose. If you say, "I want to be rich someday," you have already failed. Someday is not a date. It is a coffin where dreams are buried. If you say, "I want more money," the universe shrugs. It does not respond to ambiguity. It waits for the man who says, "I will earn $5, 100, 0, 0 a year through this specific skill, in this exact way, by this exact date, and nothing shall prevent it." The man who defines his desire defines his destiny. He walks in power, he speaks in authority, his mind is a magnet, not because he hopes, but because he has resolved. The law of attraction responds to clarity the way a mirror reflects light. You cannot attract what you do not name. You cannot receive what you do not claim. Most people drift through life with fog in their minds. They do not know what they want, and then they curse life for not delivering it. But the truth is cruel and simple. Life gives only to those who demand. Not with fists and violence, but with certainty and belief. The man who attracts wealth is the man who knows he is wealthy in spirit long before he has $1 in his hand. He does not hope for riches. He declares them. He does not beg for opportunity. He builds it with his bare thoughts. Let the man who desires wealth sit in silence and ask himself one sacred question: what exactly do I want? If the answer is cloudy, his future will be cloudy. If the answer is exact, his future will be exact. You must write it down. You must see it in your mind's eye. You must know the amount, the method, the purpose, the cost, and the reward. You must marry your desire to a plan, and you must burn all other options. Only then does the universe begin to move. You see, the law of attraction is not mysticism. It is precision. It is mental mathematics. The wealth you receive will always match the clarity of your demand. The world is not withholding from you. You are withholding from yourself. You are speaking to the universe in broken language, and it cannot give you what you do not know how to ask for. When your desire becomes a command, wealth begins to hear your voice. But desire alone is not enough. You must go deeper. You must understand that your mental blueprint, your invisible architecture of thought, determines every coin that flows into your pocket. Your outer world is nothing more than a mirror of your inner conviction. Wealth is not pursued, it is attracted, and attraction begins in the mind that expects riches, not the mind that merely wishes for them. You do not get what you want, you get what you are. The law of attraction obeys identity, not intention. If you see yourself as broke, you will find 100 ways to lose money. If you feel unworthy, opportunities will flee from you like deer from a hunter. But if you believe in your core that wealth is your natural condition, if you carry yourself with the air of prosperity, if you speak and think and move as one already rich, the world must respond in kind. Look closely at your life right now. Every dollar you have or don't have is a result of your internal code. Your beliefs are programming your reality. If deep inside you hold the belief that money is hard to earn, then it will be. If you believe the rich are greedy, you will sabotage your own wealth to avoid becoming like them. If you believe you are not good enough, your subconscious will ensure you stay poor enough to feel safe. But the moment you change your mental blueprint, the moment you begin to believe that wealth is righteous, deserved, and possible for you, everything begins to shift. You start to think like the wealthy. You see opportunity where you once saw risk. You take bold actions instead of timid steps. You speak with faith instead of doubt. And most importantly, you attract people, ideas, and circumstances that match your elevated self-image. You must rewire your mind with intention. This is the true labor of wealth creation. Not toil in the field, but toil in the mind. You must speak affirmations of abundance until your subconscious can no longer reject them. You must flood your mind with images of prosperity. You must visualize your bank account growing, your business thriving, your life expanding. You must feel what it's like to be rich, and feel it until the world has no choice but to give it to you. The law of attraction works because the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. When you see wealth in your mind's eye, when you feel it in your chest, when you walk as if it were already true, your subconscious begins to accept it as fact. And once it accepts it, it reprograms your entire behavior to align with that fact. You take the right actions, meet the right people, speak the right words, make the right decisions, not because you're trying to force success, but because you've become the kind of person success must follow. This is why the poor stay poor and the rich grow richer, not because of injustice alone, but because of internal belief. The poor man expects to lose, and so he does. The rich man expects to win, and so he does. It is not about greed. It is about belief. It is not about money. It is about identity. Do you believe you are worthy of wealth, not just with your mouth, but in your soul? Do you see yourself living in abundance? Or do you expect lack to visit you again tomorrow, like it always has? The law of attraction is not fooled by your words. It responds to your core. Change your inner code, and your outer world must obey. Stop chasing money. Start becoming the kind of person that money chases. Repetition is the master key. You must train your mind daily. Every morning you must speak your wealth into existence. Every night you must review your vision. You must think only thoughts that are aligned with your desire, and you must reject every idea, every voice, every doubt that contradicts your purpose. The law of attraction is not passive, it is precise. And it does not serve the man who occasionally believes. It serves the man who is possessed by belief, intoxicated by purpose, consumed by clarity. It serves the man whose vision of wealth is so vivid, he can already touch it before it touches him. The law of attraction does not bend for the weak-hearted. It does not move for the man who doubts himself at every turn. Thoughts are powerful, yes, but thoughts alone are nothing without the fire of emotional faith behind them. You may speak riches into the air, you may write affirmations by the dozen, but unless your heart believes what your lips declare, your efforts are wasted smoke. Faith is the fuel that gives thought its power. It is not merely thinking. It is feeling that brings wealth into your orbit. Faith is not passive. It is not the muttering of religious words or the hope of a man too scared to commit. No, faith is an emotional certainty, a spiritual force that operates beneath logic and overrules evidence. You must believe in riches even when your bank account screams otherwise. You must carry yourself with the dignity of abundance even when the world tries to humiliate you with lack. You must learn to feel rich before the riches arrive, or else the riches will never arrive. The law of attraction listens to feeling more than words. It listens to the emotional charge behind your thoughts. You can say, "I am wealthy," 1,000 times, but if underneath you are vibrating with fear, worry, or disbelief, you are only attracting more fear, more worry, and more poverty. It is not the statement that has power. It is the emotion behind the statement. You must believe what you say. You must feel it down to the marrow of your bones. If you cannot feel it, you must train yourself to feel it. This is why most men fail with the law of attraction. They operate only in the mind. But wealth is attracted by the heart. Emotion is the switch that activates the machine. The universe does not give you what you think about casually. It gives you what you are obsessed with emotionally. When you feel prosperity, it begins to gravitate toward you. When you feel deserving, it starts finding ways to enter your life. But when you feel doubt, when you feel fear, when you feel unworthy, you close the gates. You must train your emotions. Just as a body can be strengthened in the gym, your emotional frequency can be lifted by daily discipline. Visualize your dream life and feel the joy of living in it. Picture the home, the freedom, the luxury, the service you can offer to others, and let gratitude explode in your chest as if it is already yours. This is not fantasy. This is a spiritual principle as real as gravity. You are attracting at every moment, and your dominant feeling is the magnet. Speak your wealth into existence, but let your heart scream louder than your voice. Say your affirmations, but feel them with power. If you feel nothing, say them again, louder, deeper, more intense, until your body believes your future more than your past. That is the moment the shift begins. That is when the current of wealth starts to turn in your favor. You will know it not because the money appears instantly, but because you change, you walk taller, you stop explaining yourself, you move with calm certainty while others flinch at shadows, and when the emotional belief is alive, the imagination becomes the workshop. Understand this truth. Imagination is the factory where wealth is manufactured. Nothing that exists today was born without first being seen in the mind of its creator. Every building was once a vision. Every invention was once a whisper. Every fortune was once a fantasy dared into existence by the man who had the courage to see it before others believed it. The world tells you to be realistic. The world tells you to accept what is. The world tells you that imagination is for children, but the law of attraction bows not to the realist. It bends to the visionary. It bends to the man who can see what others cannot. It bends to the man who can walk by faith and not by sight. If you want to be wealthy, you must dwell in the imagination of wealth every single day. You must design the life you want with such vivid clarity that your mind believes it is already happening. Do not imagine vaguely. Do not dream in shadows. Be precise, be bold. Picture your dream lifestyle in high definition. Where do you live? What does your bedroom look like? What does your daily schedule contain? What clothes do you wear? Who do you speak with? How do you feel as you move through your day? Leave no detail out, because your subconscious mind, when fed with precision, begins to organize your life in such a way that the fantasy becomes reality. Your imagination is a sacred power. It is the first arena where wealth is created, and yet most people use it to envision failure. They imagine what could go wrong. They rehearse disaster in their minds. They picture rejection, bankruptcy, embarrassment, and then they call it realism. But this is not realism. This is self-destruction in disguise. Your imagination must serve you, not sabotage you. It must be used as a weapon to build, not a trap to bind. Do not allow your imagination to wander into fear. Guide it, rule over it. Sit down each morning, close your eyes, and construct your wealth with purpose. Do not just think of numbers, think of freedom. Think of impact. Think of what your life feels like when you are truly living without chains. Imagine your goals as already achieved. Imagine them with such intensity, such emotion, such confidence, that the rest of the world becomes an echo. This practice is not optional. It is essential. If you do not control your imagination, the world will control it for you. The media, your friends, your past, your failures, they will all inject images into your mind, and your subconscious will accept them as fact unless you consciously rewrite the script. You must become the director of your mental movie. And the scenes you choose to play will become the stage of your actual life. The great secret of the wealthy is that they saw it first. They imagined their success long before the world acknowledged it. They carried the vision of riches even when surrounded by poverty. They dreamed not as a form of escape, but as a form of construction. Their imagination became their blueprint, and they held on to it with unshakable belief. The law of attraction is not magic. It is obedience. It obeys the visioner who refuses to let go. When you combine imagination with emotion, you activate the deepest laws of creation. You impress the subconscious with powerful pictures that become orders for reality. You command the unseen forces of opportunity and connection and timing to rearrange in your favor. You begin to notice things you once overlooked. You start meeting the right people at the right time. You take bolder steps. You speak with authority. You stop asking for permission. Most men wait to see results before they believe, and so they die in waiting. But the wise man believes to see. He lets his inner world shape his outer one. He lets his imagined vision of wealth drive his real life behavior. He walks in the direction of his dream because he knows that direction is more important than distance. The one who waits for confirmation will never attract. The one who imagines with certainty, who feels with intensity, who acts as though it is already done, he is the one who commands the law of attraction. Imagination gives birth to identity. Identity gives birth to action. Action gives birth to evidence, and evidence gives birth to manifestation. The circle begins in the unseen and ends in the material. If you want to change what you see, you must first change what you visualize. If you want a new reality, you must first build it where no one else can see, inside the secret chambers of your own mind. Do not underestimate the power you possess. You are a creator. You are not here to react. You are here to design. The pictures in your mind are the prophecies of your future. Guard them, shape them, obsess over them, and the world will begin to reflect them. No man has ever attracted wealth by dreaming alone. The law of attraction does not reward idle vision. It rewards the union of thought and movement. Thought is the seed, but action is the hand that plants it. No amount of imagining or feeling can bring about riches unless the body follows the mind. The universe does not respond to the man who waits. It responds to the man who moves. You must become a man of deliberate, repeated, consistent action, not random effort, but intelligent, intentional execution based on your vision. The law of attraction does not just obey what you feel or what you see. It obeys what you do. The man who thinks without action is a fool. He builds castles in the sky, but never lays a brick on the earth. He speaks of vision, but walks in confusion. His diary is full of dreams, but his calendar is empty of movement. The wealthy man, by contrast, is not merely a thinker. He is a doer. He speaks less and executes more. He does not wait for the perfect moment, for he knows the perfect moment is shaped by action itself. He does not wait to feel ready, because he understands that readiness is a result of motion, not a prerequisite. The law of attraction brings resources, opportunities, and people to the man who has committed himself to action. Even imperfect action, even small action. What matters is momentum. When you move, even if clumsily, the wheels of wealth begin to turn. But when you hesitate, when you overanalyze, when you procrastinate, you signal to the universe that you are not yet serious, that you are still deciding, that you are not yet the man worthy of receiving. Alignment is the word. Thought, feeling, and action must be in alignment. When your thoughts say, "I am wealthy," your emotions must say, "I feel wealthy," and your behavior must say, "I act like a wealthy man." All three must speak the same language. If even one is out of tune, the vibration is broken. If you believe in abundance but act in scarcity, the signal is confused. If you dream big but play small, the universe gives you small. You must behave your belief. You must walk your vision. You must embody your desire. Too many people sit and wait for the law of attraction to work. They wait for money to appear. They wait for signs. They wait for proof. But attraction is not a waiting game. It is an initiation process. You must show the universe your seriousness through motion. It is only once you begin to move with certainty that the right doors open, the right ideas come, the right allies appear. Life does not respond to passivity. It rewards the bold. Action is the magnet for miracles. When you act in alignment with your highest belief, your frequency changes. You vibrate at the level of the outcome you desire. You stop doubting because your own behavior confirms your identity. A man who walks like a king does not question his crown. A man who rises early, works diligently, spends wisely, speaks confidently. This man is already wealthy before the money arrives. His habits are the evidence of his belief. This is the paradox that fools many. Wealth does not come after success habits. It comes because of them, and those habits must be practiced long before you see the first dollar. You do not wait until you're rich to act rich. You act rich to become rich, not in wasteful spending, not in arrogance, but in discipline, precision, and direction. The man who attracts wealth is the man who carries responsibility before he is rewarded. He takes action in faith, not in reaction to results. The universe favors those who walk forward while others sit still. The man who acts in alignment with his inner vision is dangerous, because he cannot be stopped by temporary defeat. He has burned the ships, he has removed the exit, he has declared by his actions, "This is who I am," and the law of attraction must obey. The energy you emit through action is louder than words, stronger than thoughts, clearer than feelings. Action is the language of the committed. It speaks louder than any prayer. But even action, when placed in the wrong environment, can be suffocated. The final key to unlocking the power of the law of attraction is to master your environment. You cannot plant a seed of wealth in soil poisoned by poverty and expect it to flourish. The people you surround yourself with, the places you dwell in, the voices you allow into your mind, all of these are either fertilizing or killing your attraction to wealth. You must choose your environment like a surgeon, deliberately, ruthlessly, and with precision. Your environment is not neutral. It is either lifting you or limiting you. If you spend time with those who speak of limitation, who mock ambition, who envy success, who live in fear, you are absorbing their vibration. And no matter how strong your desire, no matter how bold your vision, their energy will contaminate yours. You must guard your energy like you would guard a treasure chest, because in truth, that is exactly what it is. Aud at your surroundings. Who do you speak with daily? What do you listen to? What do you look at? What words are being spoken in your home, your workplace, your social circles? Are these voices of increase or decrease? Are these echoes of wealth or murmurs of mediocrity? You cannot soar with eagles while nesting with pigeons. You cannot speak prosperity and feast on poverty conversations. The law of attraction responds to your dominant environment. You must rise above the noise. The great mistake is believing you can overcome a toxic environment through willpower alone. You cannot. Prolonged exposure to fear, gossip, scarcity, and small-mindedness will infect even the strongest spirit. You must exit the wrong rooms and enter the right ones. Find mentors who think bigger than you. Find groups that challenge you to level up. Immerse yourself in content that breathes possibility. Let the very air around you reinforce your vision. Let the space you live in whisper success to your mind. This may require separation. This may require solitude. This may require sacrifice. But what is the cost of staying stuck? What is the price of letting your dream suffocate under the weight of someone else's doubt? You owe it to yourself to elevate your environment. You owe it to your future to walk away from anything and anyone who convinces you to shrink. The man who attracts wealth builds a fortress around his focus. He is careful with his atmosphere because he knows that everything he touches is either blessing or burden. Even your physical space must be organized for attraction. Let your surroundings reflect your standards. Clean your space, organize your tools, display your vision where you can see it. Let order become your rhythm, because disorder signals confusion, and confusion repels opportunity. The law of attraction thrives in structure, not chaos. A wealthy mind expresses itself in a wealthy environment, not measured by luxury but by intention. Your environment includes time. How do you spend your hours? Are your days structured in accordance with your wealth vision? Or are you scattering your energy on distractions, excuses, entertainment, and comfort? Wealth is not attracted to the man who entertains himself to death. It is attracted to the man who disciplines his time like a warrior. Every hour either builds your vision or delays it. The man who honors time honors wealth, and wealth honors him in return. Control your environment, and you begin to control your results. Build a world around you that forces your vision to live, breathe, and dominate your thinking. Cut off the voices that keep you average. Starve the distractions. Surround yourself with greatness until your vibration has no choice but to rise. When you act in alignment, and when you dwell in the right environment, the law of attraction begins to move with you instead of against you. And the flow of wealth begins to find its path into your life. Wealth is not a distant dream. It is a reality shaped by your thoughts, feelings, actions, and environment. When you align your mind with clarity, feel prosperity with conviction, act with unwavering belief, and surround yourself with energy that reinforces abundance, the law of attraction becomes your ally. Success does not come by chance. It comes by conscious design. You are the architect of your destiny. Think it, feel it, move toward it, and let your world reflect the richness within you. The secret to attracting wealth is not out there. It's already inside you, waiting to be activated by your will.